Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers third party review. Today I'm taking a look at the latest offering from Keith's Fantasy Club. It's part of their Phase 4 program. This is Transistor Microverse, aka our good friend Blaster has stepped through that shattered glass mirror and gone into the other dimension. So we now have the evil Autobot Blaster and his deadly minions. On the back of the box we have some diagram schematics and we have a brief bio, giving our character a nice little storyline and some history. Now of course there is a slight difference in the metal Mirrorverse as opposed to the shattered glass universe. This is where the good bots are evil and the evil bots are more evil. And here they all are out of the packaging. This is a ruddy, brilliant set. You get an awful lot included. Not only do you get Blaster, you get his standard accessories with the two guns, you get the kind of two chromed up boom cannons, you get a complete handful of cards with their little bios and names on there. You've got Fader, Hi-Fi, Haymaker, Bad Bat, and Rhino Horn, which are of course a Slugfest, Ratbat, Rewind, Ramhorn, and Solarbot. You get the alternative heads, so you can have Toon or Toy Accuracy, and you get the instruction book, which is basically a glorified artistic piece of awesomeness. You've got all the bios down there, you've got instructions throughout, you've got bios for every individual, you've got a nice poster on the inside there. Awesome, awesome job. No comic book this time round, which is a shame because I absolutely loved the artwork in the comic books. Hopefully we'll get some with their reflector. Anyway, back onto the toys. Now I have the first version of Blaster. I have the Twin Cast, and now I have Shattered Glass Blaster. The mould itself has held up very well over time. This is actually one of my favourite of all of them. I don't know if they've changed their plastic slightly, but this does actually feel thicker and almost more robust than the other two. I don't know what it is about it, but it definitely works. It's also the very first version of him where I'm keeping the toy head. I'm keeping that on there, and I'm praying that somebody like E-Hobby gives us a shattered glass Soundwave now with a Kung Fu headband. Or if not, there's KO companies out there, they don't seem to have touched Soundwave yet. Maybe that would be an option for them. Now these little dudes we have all seen before, but not necessarily in this deco. We've seen Ramhorn in that deco before. He was one of the first to be shattered by Keith. These two are gorgeous, especially him. Look at that. That is rather snazzy. I like that a lot. Very beaming. Really, really great. And look at this. Now there are weapons for both of these. They do come with them. I've just left his in the packaging because I wanted him to pull some sort of superiority stance. We've got Ratbat. Again, the details on Ratbat are pretty nice. Everything holds together quite nicely. I haven't flipped those down properly, have I? They flip down onto the back there. But anyway, you don't see the back, so I'll keep that quiet. This little dude, his head does tend to pop off. The ball is a bit wibbly wobbly and does not want to stay on there. He's probably best left on a shelf, out of touch, out of mind, but he is awesome nonetheless. I know a lot of you wanted the G1 toy versions of these. They went quite quickly, I believe, and of course we all know him, don't we? Let's take a look at Blaster. If this is your first time looking at this Blaster mold, it is, in my opinion, a true Blaster piece. It is fantastic. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like some of the Keith Fantasy Club toys or some of the X-Transbot toys, but I don't have a bad word to say about this mold. The design is fantastic. It is a definitive version of the mold. Takara did it. I don't see how they could do it better. The alt mode is spot on, and the bot mode is just sublime. Just looking at that head sculpt, it looks fantastic. I love those red eyes. The paint apps are really, really crisp on this. That nice high level of gloss on the black there. It's a really great finish. Very, very true to the toy colours there. I think the toy was 2013, I think, which was a reissue of the reissue of Blaster, and that came in a 2-pack with Soundwave. But they've kept the colours very, very true with this. Gorgeous red on the chest edge. Pop that down. Should have pressed the eject button really, but again, rather nice in there. Right, let's pop that down. It's all good in the hood. Coming down to the legs again, we've got this gorgeous high level of gloss here. They've done a really nice job. It's kept that same consistency throughout, and I haven't flipped out his heel spurs, but he stands anyway. You get the idea. Really, very, very nice. Love this. Look, you got that turquoisey colour at the back there as well. Gorgeous, gorgeous figure. Now, we don't have many Shattered Glass peoples, so at the moment he has to stand alongside DX9's Terra. Terra, or Rodimus, as he was in the Shattered Glass era, basically did what Starscream did. He chucked Optimus Prime's body away and took rightful command of the evil Autobots. And here he is alongside Blaster and Billy. Now, in God's honest truth, he does feel different to these two. This mould has come a long way. I am pretty darn sure Keith's using different plastic for this, because he does feel more solid. Even the arms, the forearms, the joints, they all feel kind of finished. Now, I don't have a Shattered Glass Soundwave, but if and when I do, this is kind of the scale we're going to have, and they are going to look fantastic fighting off against one another. Articulation, yes, he has some. The head can look up and down, we can go left and right quite freely. The arms come outwards, then come all the way around. They are on friction joints, there's no ratchets in there. We have a bicep swivel, we have a bend at the elbow, we actually have a double bend at the elbow, but you can't quite get any more range than 90 degrees. We have a wrist rotation, we have individually articulated fingers that are not going to come off. There's 1, 2, 3 points in each finger and a ball-socketed 2-pointed thumb, so we can get some kind of hey poses. The waist does indeed rotate. You've got these hip skirts, which we can lift up, pull forwards, backwards, outwards. Now, just like all of the other blasters, if you pull it outwards, the hips do tend to split. It's kind of part of the design. They're designed to come apart, so you have to kind of hold that in and move that out, because it is a ratchet joint. Had they put a friction in there, yes, the legs wouldn't have been anywhere near tight enough, but it would have stopped this section from coming apart. It's because we've got resistance on that ratchet that it comes apart. There's kind of a rotation in there as well. We have an upper thigh rotation. We have a lovely ratchet on that knee. Coming down to the feet, they pivot and they can go forwards and backwards, so we can get some pretty dynamic poses. He's an extremely well balanced figure. Now, to get Shattered Blast Wave transformed, you want to open up this section here, bring that down, bring this section here downwards, and bring that one back. That now allows us to fold the hands in. Make sure the thumbs and the fingers are all tucked in nicely so that can rotate around freely. Then bring that back over. You then want to come around to the arm. You want to bring it up, bend this joint, and then bring this section here. That's going to come down, and that's going to tab in like so. Come around to the back, straighten this, bring this down, and that's going to tab in like that. So we have him like this. Open up his back like this, and like this, and then you're going to just move those down like that, and then we've got these shoulder sections. They are now going to slide like so, and like so. Flip the neck section back, flip the head up and over into the hole, and close that back off. Come around to the legs. Fold the heel spur in, if you chose to take it out. Open up this section here on this side of the leg. Bring this section here down. This section here is actually going to come out and rotate around. This grey section is going to come down and rock out of the way. This is going to rock up and over, and this grey section is going to come back down to the bottom. That's going to cover that off, and that's going to form part of the handle. I'm going to come around to the waist, and we're going to rotate this waist around so it looks like this. Split the legs at the crotch, so you now got these two individual sections. You want to wrap this section here. That's now going to wrap and peg into here. That's actually going to come in here and tab in nicely. This section here is now going to bend up, extend this waist section, bringing this section down, bring this section here up and over, and basically there's a tab on the inside just here. This grey section is going to tab in there, and then there's tabs along here and here. This all is now going to tab in smoothly, he says. It's literally just a matter of lining everything up, and then this one tabs in along the top, and there we have one very awesome tape deck, or deck tape. Now this is an option. This is what I did on my original transistors. The official transformation has these bits rotated around like this. It's nice. I don't like the vents on the bottom. I prefer the kind of, I like to think of these as like USB jacks or like plug socket plugs at the front there. Then you've got some like vents at the top. That's how I prefer to have it. I prefer to have it like this, but the official transformation is of course like this, and as you can see it's pretty easy to do. We have got the same fantastic detailing. I thought this detailing was somewhat lost in the Twincast mould because the paint was taken away. Got the power button there. Nice hidden details there. You didn't need to see those at all. They're literally just there. They're at the back of the figure, and they're gorgeous. Come around to the side. We do have graphic equalizer. It's nice. Everything plugs in very, very well. You do have the option to, so you can press the button on the back, and that launches the tapes further and further forward. There you go. It's a nice little feature, pretty much the same as what we have with Soundwave. Not going to display him like this at all. I'm going to have him displayed in that bot mode, and I do need more shattered glass figures. Are there any other figures you'd like to see done in the shattered glass colour scheme? Now I know we're getting a Diaclone Ultra Magnus, aren't we? We're getting an MP Ultra Magnus in the Diaclone colours, so maybe I could count him as shattered glass. I could maybe have G2 Sideswipe in there as well. But this guy, he is definitely a very, very good figure. Definitely above and beyond the other two that have been done like him. The cassettes themselves all change up. We do get different colour cases. As opposed to the pink we're used to, we get this kind of smoked grey black colour, which is in itself very nice indeed. Now there are options to store the guns in the back here as well. They are in the instructions. I find it more fiddly and unnecessary to kind of fold this in and fold those in. But they do both store in there. But yes, this is Shattered Glass Blaster. and he is glorious. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, Mirrorverse Transistor. Let me know what you think. I personally like this better than the other two versions of the mold. I do have all three. I intend to keep all three, but I honestly like this one the best. It's just something about him. I think it's just that kind of evil vibe with that high gloss black finish. The paint applications are absolutely sublime on this, and I'm genuinely extremely happy. Again, let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much to Madhouse Toys for sending me this early sample to have a look at. If you'd like to pay them a visit, I've included a link to their Facebook and their blog in the description down here. Just read it and pay them a visit. And until next time, from myself and Transistor Mirrorverse, aka Shattered Glass Blaster, thanks for watching. Goodbye.